and she has acne and rosacea. Now fix that. Fix that. Hi guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new here, my name is Patrice. If you are tuning in again, welcome back. So, like the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about 6 things I wish I knew before I became a professional makeup artist. All right, so I may be looking down because I have my notes because I wanted to write my thoughts down as opposed to just going off the top of the dome. This is also going to be like a get ready with me. So as I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to be talking about those 6 things. So first, I'm just going to put some primer on. And with my primer, I use my hands. So this is just a primer that I got from PYT Beauty. I got it in like a PR package. And so what your primer is going to do is going to make your makeup adhere better to your face and increase the wearing time of your makeup. So I like to start off with my eyes. So I sculpt my brows first and then I begin shadow. So for myself, it's like, yeah, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on my own personal makeup, but for my clients, I'll drop a bag. So I'll be using my NYX Conceal, Correct, and Contour palette. And this is in the shade Deep. So my complexion is like a medium brown. So if you're my complexion, this is really good. It has all the shades to color correct, contour, and highlight. This particular shade I do not use because this is more so for someone who has that olive undertone, and mine is pretty yellowish neutral. So I don't really utilize this particular shade. I mean, I will, like if this color runs out, because I've done that before, but for the most part, I don't because I would look green. And I'm just using a angle brush to sculpt them first. So let's get into the tips. All right, so my first tip I say was do not invest so much into your kit. I think when you first start out, you don't want to spend all this money on this expensive product because half of the time you don't even know how to use it correctly. And I found myself like using really expensive product and then I was using too much when in reality, all I needed was a little bit, and that little bit can go a long way. Like for example, what is that product? I don't use it anymore. I probably should add it back. It's like the Kevin Aquan Skin Enhancer. I think that's what it's called. And baby, that thing is expensive. And honestly, if you have the money to invest, like if you're starting off as a part-time artist and you're still working full-time, I would say spend that money on a class. Build your skill up because for real, when I was a baby makeup artist and I didn't have a wide range of complexion products, I didn't have a wide range of blushes and things like that, I used what I had and became a little bit more resourceful. Like say, if this was back then, and I really wanted like a warm orange blush, I would use a cream concealer and baby, that's gonna be your cream blush. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't wanna have all this product and you don't know how to use it. And honestly, being resourceful like that, it helps you think on your feet when you are in a situation and you don't have the necessary tools to do what you're trying to do. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I like to start off at the tail and then work my way up towards the front. And then with that same concealer, I bring it downward. Second tip is to ask models for complimentary makeup. Complimentary makeup, I know that sounds so crazy, but let me tell you something. Had I known that sooner, I promise you my content would on my, oh my God. I didn't even, oh, that's from my earring. Okay, that was makeup. I promise you my content on Instagram would be so much better. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with practicing on your auntie, your cousin, your sister, your mother, and so on and so forth. However, and that's no shade to those girls, but when you do their makeup, say it's beautiful and you really want to showcase what you have done, and then you put that camera in front of their face and they're like, oh, I'm shy, or they're not as photogenic and it's not translating on camera. And I found when I reached out to makeup, I learned this from Tiana Robinson. If you do not follow her, follow my girl. Tiana Robinson, a long time ago. This is before I was taking makeup as serious. This had to been like 2017, 2018. I know for a fact I was still working at MAC at the time. So it had to be like 2017, 2018. Tiana Robinson said, reach out to models. So this is what she told me. This is what I started doing. But I started doing this 2 years ago. So find a model. So let's just say you live in Seattle. So you can put on Instagram or whatever social media, hashtag Seattle model, right? Through that hashtag, you're going to see tons of models that may live in your area that are working and they are photogenic. You DM them and say, hi, my name is Jessica. I'm a local makeup artist in the Seattle area, metropolitan area. I love your work. I wanted to know, would you be open to complimentary makeup by myself? And then you can add your little spin on it. I had them come to me. So either my studio at the time or to my house. Now, having somebody come to your house, I know it's, but you kind of have to discern and use your discretion on how you would like to set that up. But it just made sense for me to have them come to me. I just wasn't traveling to them, because that way you can kind of set your background up the way you would like. Another thing that I did with those models is we had like a brief phone call too before our meetup. We probably talked once or twice. So I would say, yeah, once or twice. And then we kind of touch bases and you can tell them, hey, I would like for you to wear this, blase, blase. I probably sent out, I probably may have sent out 50 DMs and maybe like 5 responded. Like, you gotta be hungry. If you want it, you gotta be hungry. Some models are going to say no. Some models are going to say, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't do any collaborations, blase, blase. Some may say, oh, reach back out to me in September. Some may never respond. That's why you have to send out so many. And it worked. Like, it's so many models that initially that I worked with and I didn't pay them, and we still work together to this day. Now, I will say, if you have the money to invest and pay that particular model's their rate, then by all means you can do that. But starting out, you don't want to just be throwing away money. So that's what I would suggest. And that will really like take your photos on Instagram to a whole nother level. And on top of that, you can tell those models, hey, and by the way, once I'm done servicing you your complimentary makeup, do you mind also posting on your social media story or what have you and tag me? Because now you're tapping into their audience. And if you remember what I said, Tiana Robinson told me this 2018. I didn't apply that until 2-3 years later. So that's something, had I did what she said then and there, I probably would be further along-ish. Like further along, because I feel like I'm decently successful. But I think it would be different for me. It would be different for me had I did that sooner and not waited. But everything happens for a reason. Number 3, this is controversial. Some girls, some boys may think it's something different. I don't really care. But number 3 is to work at a makeup counter part-time. I put emphasis on part-time. For my brows, I'm using MAC Espresso eyeshadow and my angle brush to fill in my brows. Every now and again, I'll use a pencil or a pomade or an eyeshadow. It just depends on how the wind blows that particular day. And let me tell you why I say work at a counter, right? So when you're a makeup artist first starting out, your first people that you practice on is probably going to be your friends and family, right? And by default, our friends and our family, they're like us, right? So from speaking for myself, I am an African American woman. So my friends and family, African American as well. So had I not worked at a makeup counter, because I worked at MAC, had I not worked at a makeup counter, I would have never had the ability to work on different ethnicities, different textures of skin, all of those things. Because honestly, when you're first starting out, you're gonna call your cousin, your favorite cousin. You're gonna call your favorite cousin, the one that got the perfect skin, no blemishes, no acne scars, and you're gonna practice on her. You're gonna practice on her. I did it. Everybody, that's what you're gonna do. And when you're placed at a counter, you are forced to take, I don't know, an Asian woman, and you black. You're forced to take that Asian woman who has a mono lid and she has acne and rosacea. Now fix that. So it forces you to be in situations that you may possibly encounter once you step out on your own as a freelance makeup artist. It helps you to think fast because these services are timed. It helps you to problem solve and think quickly. It's so helpful. It's so helpful. Another thing with that is most of the time, especially if you are like you're 18 and you starting off being a makeup artist, all you know is people in your community. So meaning people in your neighborhood, people who go to your church. And like I said, the people in your community typically look like you. motherfucking game. And the thing is, if you mess up, it's not on you. It's not on you. I promise you it's not on you. I guarantee you it's not on you. Because let me tell you something. Back when I used to work at Mac, I was a freelancer and a permanent artist. Not one time have I ever heard a customer say, oh, I like going to the Mac at the Pentagon City store because they got Patrice over there. I want to go see Patrice. No, they don't say that. The customer's going to say, I like that Mac store in Pentagon City Mall because they do good makeup over there. Again, I like that Sephora over in DC because they do a phenomenal job. Or you told somebody makeup up, child. I mean, toe up. They're going to say, oh my God, the Sephora in Georgetown, they just simply cannot do makeup. They're trash. They are not going to say, I'm shaking the thing. They are not going to say, oh, Patrice over in Georgetown, oh, she can't do makeup, so I'm not going. They don't associate the artists by themselves. They associate you with the store. Like, it's not Patrice at Georgetown Sephora. It is Georgetown Sephora sucks. Like, it's that. It's that. So it's like your trial and your error and your mistakes, you can make it out the counter. That's your foundations. Unless the only time, and my advice could be a little biased because you're talking to somebody who was at the counters in 2016. That's when the girls were doing Instagram makeup and sculpted brows. So the counter are very different, but I still think it's something good to do. But like I said, part-time because maybe they don't pay you that much. Like I said, unless you are getting your education from an actual makeup school, then I think it's fine. I mean, you don't have to go, but that's my advice, child. That's my advice, child. You don't change on me. Take concealer. Again, it depends on how the wind blows. Which is why I love that NYX palette so freaking much. I take that concealer and I use it as an eyeshadow base. Honestly, when I be doing my makeup, it be the same. Like, it's so rare that I do something very different. I think I'm gonna use this Kylie palette. And yeah. More than likely, like, unless I'm going somewhere, I don't really, I don't know. If it's a special occasion and I'm feeling froggy, I'll do something different. Like a bust down all black smoky eye, a cut crease for the girls, putting that orangey color in my crease just to kind of neutralize it. Put some color up in that thing. So once I put that orangey color in my crease, I then go in with a deeper shade, kind of like a little bit underneath. I think something that when people do their makeup, whether you are a makeup artist, I had to learn this by myself. And if you're just like an everyday woman, we should spend more time blending than anything. I'm taking a very much deeper shade, brown, And I'm starting on the outer corner and I'm bringing it downward. And now we're about to build this smoky out. One thing that I do to kind of like concentrate like color in one specific spot, like if I really want to saturate that one particular area, I will move my hands closer to the beginning of my brush. Oh God, I'm grateful. I'm gonna use this dark purpley shade to deepen my outer corner some more. Like a paley kind of shade. Ooh. On my lid. I'm actually switching over palettes. This is the Salvage palette. This is from ColourPop, I want to say. Yeah, ColourPop. And I'm using the shade Carmelo for the center of my lid. Number 4 I have for you guys is to ask, I'm looking at my notebook. Ask local artists if you can assist them. Now, I wish I would have done this sooner too. I think when I first started out, it was more so like, oh, I got this all by myself. And baby, you don't have it all by yourself. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Again, I wish I did this sooner because I would probably be further ahead in my career, but that's okay. You learn from your mistakes. So, when I was a baby makeup artist, I ain't never want to ask nobody for help. That was so dumb. That was so stupid because I could have learned so much from artists that I just did not want to work with. I just don't know. You know, you young, you think you know everything. My dear friend, I love her to death, to the moon and back. Her name is Amina. And I hit her up because my friend, she's like really good with bridal makeup. Rewind, let me go back some before I get into my story. Try to, like I said, ask for other makeup artists if you can be their assistant. Before you start reaching out to local makeup artists, try to assist an artist that pretty much does the same type of makeup as you. Like, you don't want to, for example, you don't want to hit me up and be like, hey girl, like, baby, I'm gonna color correct this chin because I did not wax my chin yet. If you know, you know. I grow hair on my chin, baby, and I did not wax yet, or my upper lip. So yeah. You don't want to hit me up and say, hey, with your really next big event or bridal party, can I assist you? And I am a soft glam bridal makeup artist, and you like special effects, you like cut creases. Those two don't even go in the same category. You like glitter, it don't go. So it's kind of doing yourself a disservice unless you see yourself kind of switching over to that type of style of makeup. Because one thing that you want to make sure that you are doing in order to excel as a makeup artist is moving strategically. If you know deep down in your soul, deep down in your heart that you want to be a special effects makeup artist, it should be no reason why you're teaming with a bridal artist. Like, it don't go. Fast forward, boom. I hit my friend up. I'm like, hey girl, can I assist you? Because I know you be doing hella weddings and I'm trying to get into bridal makeup artistry. She said, cool, boom, boom, boom. I started assisting my friend and I started to learn so much. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of like a rite of passage as a makeup artist, baby. You have to assist somebody because you don't know anything. And I think at the time, when I was a baby makeup artist, I did not know how to be humble. Like, I didn't know how to humble myself and learn how to be meek. And I think if I would have illustrated those qualities earlier on in my career, again, I keep saying, I would be further along. Like, honestly, I'm sharing all these tips because it's like, I wish somebody would have told me these things. Also, I want y'all to be more successful than me because you won't be wasting time doing stupid stuff or thinking that you got it all figured out or thinking that, oh, I don't need to do this because I'm the best makeup artist in Seattle. Girl, bye. Everybody got to start somewhere. You are not born the best, and there's always room for improvement. There's one thing Mac is going to do. I know the girls are not really on them anymore like they were back in the day. If it's one thing Mac is going to do, it's going to eat up a complexion product. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Even to this day, I still ask Amina for advice with certain things because I still need help. So even if you can assist an artist, like if maybe you're in cosmetology school or maybe you're in makeup school, even if you do it for free, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a part of the game don't nobody talk about. You're gonna have to work for free sometimes. The same way I just mentioned, what step was that? Number 2, asking models if they want complimentary. They're working for free too. You're gonna have to, unfortunately, work for free. Not for long. Not for long. Don't fret now. You gotta pay your dues. Listen, I'ma say this. Beyonce was not charging $1 million for a 4 or 5 minute performance off the rip when she was in Destiny's Child. Let's be clear. She had to earn that right. She had to work her way up, develop her skill, hone in on her skill. That's another thing. Let's be very clear. When I started out, baby, I was charging $25 a face. I mean, a mess. Makeup looked a mess. But that's because I knew that I could not charge what I charge now. Because it just don't give. It wasn't giving then. It gives now. Can you believe this is some $5 concealer. Do you see this concealer? Hello, somebody. Thank you. Like, excuse me. 5 is create a budget for marketing. I know we want to post on Instagram. I know we want to post on TikTok. We may even want to post on Twitter, X. But babe, I'm telling you, what's going to get that business to the next level is next level marketing. So the purpose for marketing is to what? Expand your reach. The purpose of marketing is to expand your reach and to end up gaining more sales and closing on sales. I'm going to use this black eyeliner and go into my waterline. They have a feature that if you do want to market with them, and they have different options like Do you want to market because you're trying to get more DMs? Do you want to market because you want to get more profile visits? Or you want to market to gain followers, get people to visit your website, so forth and so forth. They have different little options. And you can market your work, your booking site, or whatever the case may be, for like $2 a day. Now, your reach may not be as vast, but it's getting people that have never seen you before in front of their face. Also, maybe you could pay someone quarterly to do like a flyer and create some sort of marketing material. Like, it's the holidays. Well, the holidays are over. New Year's is over. During Valentine's Day, I would say maybe spring, because you want to separate it so you're not spending all this money. I would say Valentine's Day, spring, and maybe like Labor Day and Christmas. You can get like marketing materials that you pay for. Like, I wish I would have done that, because I don't know. It just, I'm telling y'all, I will be further ahead. Now, I like where I am. I've accomplished so much. I've worked with the NFL. I've worked with so many awesome people, but I just know, had I been more strategic, that's the word of the day, strategic, with how I was moving and how hungry I was. I mean, I was always hungry to succeed with this. How I've been a little bit more strategic, I think it would be totally different. I'm about to go in with my cream, my cream blush from Makeup by Mario. He did his big one with this. It's like a stick. I keep saying that I'm gonna get some for my kit, but I don't never get around to it. Oh my gosh, I just squirted out my lash glue and it stinks so bad. That means it's time to get a new one. The last and final tip I have for you guys is network. Oh my gosh, I know. It's not that insightful, but you know what? It's something that a lot of people don't do. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. So I said network and nourish the current relationships that you have. And what I mean by nourish the current relationships that you have is like, for example, my clients. Some of my clients, I'll just hit up out of the blue and say, hey, I hope everything is well, and da 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 da, you know. And now they're like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I mean, which I am genuinely interested, but you know, it helps with them wanting to book you again, because now you're creating a relationship with them. Another thing I try to do, unless like, I don't know, my client may have like an alias Instagram page, but like I actually follow my clients on Instagram and I interact with their posts. So they don't feel like I view them as just a number. If that, you know, this piece of hair is blowing me. So I think that's another reason why my clients love me so much. And literally, I would say 80% of my clients rebook with me. For real, for real. So nourishing those relationships and attending more networking events. Go to beauty related events. Whether it's I don't really do this particular one. Like, I don't really go to hair shows anymore, but I think I'm gonna start because I may be incorporating hair services as a service that I offer after this shoot. Yeah, so go to hair shows, maybe locally. I know here in DC they always have something, but even if you, what's that one in New York? IBS hair show? That's in New York. That's a really good one. I ain't been in that one in a minute. They have classes and all that. Oh my God, let me tell you about this lip balm I'm using right now. And I tend to go pretty heavy with it. I got this from Blue Mercury at first. I used to work at DuPont Circle, and you know, if you from DC, you know there's a Blue Mercury down DuPont Circle. And I needed a lip balm, and the sales associate was like, "Oh my God, girl, you need to try this." I said, "Hold on, it got shea butter? All right, and SPF 25 at that, not 5 or 10, 25." And it's so good because I was using Blistex, and if you read the ingredients, baby, it has salicylic acid. Why is salicylic acid, which is an active ingredient that's found in most acne medication, in a lip balm? Didn't like it. So I do not use Blistex anymore. It just gives. This is Jack Black, their Intense Therapy Lip Balm. It's a little expensive, but baby, these are your lips. I don't know. I'm really pressed over my lips. I'm just that person. I don't know. So you can network in your city. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your city. It could be out of your city, maybe like an hour. Like if you have like a weekend, you can go to like the next city over. Like if you're in Charlotte, maybe you can go down to Raleigh for the weekend, or Durham. I don't know how far, but that's just an example. Like for me, I live in DC. Another like relatively large city, but it's not that far, as like Richmond, that's an hour, or Baltimore, like, you know. And you can make it kind of like a weekend thing, and you can go to a networking event there. There's always networking events in your city, even though you think it's not. You can go on Eventbrite, things like that, or even like Instagram. Follow other local makeup artists in your city. Because sometimes, even I do this sometimes. I haven't done it in a while, because I kind of like got my people, and then when I meet people, it's in person kind of things. Not really because I sought them out through social media. But those other artists could say, hey, does anyone have availability next Saturday, because I need an assistant to help me with this wedding. Like, it's just always an opportunity to network. When I did the job to work with the NFL, it was through networking. Like, duh. It's just something that people take for granted. And another thing, like, be nice, bro. I think that adds to it. Like, okay, I met this girl at the networking event. Not only is she talented, she's like really, really nice, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. That helps. And then because you're networking, you got the info, and now that you know to nourish those relationships, y'all are in constant contact. So when little Susie Q needs a makeup artist because she just got engaged, you are at the front of her mind. Just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't telling you something I don't know, baby. I'm speaking from experience. This is what the girls are doing in 2024 if you are a new and upcoming makeup artist. Even if you're not, hopefully this kind of sparks an idea in your brain and it kind of helped you to think about something else. Like sometimes I will hear something and I'm like, that didn't resonate with me. Yeah. And it just doesn't stick. But then someone may say something to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, that just make a lot of sense. Now, da 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 da. So, yeah. So here's the finished look. I completed it off camera because I just felt myself rambling and I was just talking way too much. So, what did I do? So for my lip, I used lip liner from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil. And you know what? Honestly, it's not a lip liner. It's a multi-use. So you can use it as like an eyeliner, or maybe you want to do freckles or something like that. It isn't limited to just being a lip liner, but I personally use it as a lip liner because I think it's the perfect brown for me. It's not too red. It's just, this is why it's this big. Like, this is the only liner I really use. So I use that. And I use this Kylie liquid lip. The name rubbed off on it, but I know it's the lip kit. I know they got that Ulta, child. It's pink. And this gloss right here, baby. It's like $3. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from Ulta. That's where I get it from. This is Essence. And I don't know the name of this color. However, this is like their little frosted pink color. They have a clear lip gloss. Listen to me and listen to me well. I've never heard nobody on YouTube say this. So if you hear another girl saying it, their clear lip gloss, all of their lip glosses really, they are so freaking bomb. And I do mean bomb. So I use this, and then I topped it off with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, just the original. And that was that. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you learned something, whether you are a new makeup artist, if you are a seasoned makeup artist. I really, 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 really hope that these tips helped you in some way. Like I said, like I would prefer someone knows these things and they're way more successful than me, because these are things that I just started doing that had I done 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would learn so much more and I will be further along in my career, chat. But yes, I hope you like this video. I will see you guys next time.